Hey, so I was just live talking about Jude and some theories that I've had. Um, Forgive me if I don't stare into the eye of that thing. It's weird to me. It always will be. It always has been. So I'm just a regular person, not an actress, and I don't know why we have to keep saying these things. Some people say, well, we watch your channel for years and you keep saying the same things or you don't grow. And it's sad that some things need reiterated over and over again, but that's the times we're in and that's where we're at. I've said a lot of the same things for several years and people still refuse to listen. And it's not that I need to be a controller or a dictator, simply that when it's my body or my dog's body whose safety depends on me, yeah, I'm in charge of that. Um so I'm going to show you something that I don't want to show you because it's gross. I don't know what to say anymore. I don't know the mentality. I don't understand what people gain from being bullies and picking at people and harassing them and tormenting them. I will say that the ideas that I have and the ideas that have come to me are not because I have imagined them or hallucinated them. They are behaviors that I've seen in my family. Um, when I began this, it was strictly makeup or whatever. And then I segued into coming back to God. And at first, it was just me trying to get to know the Bible, me trying to learn that and what it meant, uh, what it means to walk with Jesus, and not just say you believed, right? And it takes a while. At least it did for me. Um, And then it turned into talking about what God was teaching me personally about gossip and about modesty and about charity, and how those things, relate to each other, and how attributes and virtues relate to our vices and how to try to mitigate those. And then when we came to this house, right before CV started, I had asked God, what am I to you? Who am I? And all I heard in my inner voice was a witness. And I've said from day one. And if you don't know the Bible, you're not going to know this. So you should actually listen so you don't sound like a fool when you're falsely accusing people. You just sound foolish because you're saying things that have never come out of that person's mouth. You're never going to find evidence of it because I've never said I am one of the two witnesses. I said I might be. God said I'm a witness. However, every believer in Christ is commissioned to be a witness. Every verse, every word has a double entendre, every single one. Where do you think Satan got that idea? So I've never claimed to be one of the two, definitely, especially now with as much time has passed. I'm starting to wonder if I haven't been manipulated because people knew that I had an open mind to things like this. And they knew they had traumatized me to the point of having a more open mind. So it's possible they wanted me to think I was some biblical figure. That's very possible because my husband, who was not a Christ believer, was constantly pushing me to be a Christ believer. All these people around me who don't believe in Christ just wanted me to have a copy of that KJV, which leads me to think it's been corrupted in some way, shape, or form. That's why I don't blindly believe everything written in it. I go verse by verse, precept by precept, version by version. That's why I do what I do. That's why I seek. That's why I study. Because I don't know everything. I don't know half of everything. I don't know a quarter of everything. I don't know a fingernail of everything there is to know. I don't even know a fingernail of everything there is to know as an American of Gen X. I don't even know that much. I'm so open to the fact that I'm flawed. And that's the problem. See, I'm going to show you something that I just saw because I don't look at these. I don't look at my notifications anymore. I don't look at people who are making videos about me and cracking on me. I don't pay attention. But they doxed my spouse. They're using his real name. That's a problem for me because I can say or do whatever I want. You can't. Because unless you're him, I'm going to have a real problem with you from now on. And as you can see, probably I don't let go. I'm very tenacious. So unless that is my spouse and unless he made that account, I will find you. And if there is no law yet, I will get one made. Because it's not okay. If my spouse did this, he better get it taken down post haste because he just opened up a can of legal whoop ass on himself because he mentioned his real name. I didn't do it. And this is the second time. This is the second channel I found with his real name that he says is, well, so far, I don't know if he says it's his or not yet, but I'll show it to you in a second. There's a lot of hurtful things on here about me that if you read them as they are, yes, they're true. But again, context matters. And anyone who's watched this channel for a time knows things about me. But that's the problem with snippets of videos and snippets of people's lives and canceling them and judging them by a 2-second TikTok or a 1-sentence thing somewhere. Is that you don't have any context. You have no right to judge that person because you're not judging them righteously. So I'm going to show you, but I'm going to ask if you're going to be curious enough to see what was said about me, be righteous enough to listen to my reply. Because if you're just going to keep being louder than everyone else in the room, people are just going to leave the room. I'm going to leave the room. I'm not going to listen to you anymore. And so are your buddies. You don't see people getting sick of each other yet? You don't see people getting sick of this arrogant attitude yet? You're the first ones people are going to come to, bottom of the pyramid. The people that are mucking with me. You're the first ones. I don't understand what pleasure it brings you. So it was just coincidence that I was at a pizza place with a redhead named Carla, where I talked to a guy at SSI a couple of weeks ago whose name was Carl. And then when I talked to him again, his name was Carla. It's just a coincidence when I reapplied for Medicaid or Medicare, or whatever it is, that I got a red stamp on the side that said reset. No, the city's not mucking with me. I have a video I just took now. My recycling bins thrown. Everybody else is lined up neatly. That's how I know my spouse works for the city. His brother works for the other city, the zoning department. His cousin made the welfare IT department. He made their systems, their OS systems that they run on. His mother works in and out of the courthouse, transferring titles and deeds and important paperwork. So please tell me again how paranoid I am that this person that I wronged, who has girls in every town and phone numbers all over his phone and porn of chunky redheads when I come back from Florida, please tell me how all of these redheads then that I've run into, usually with him, and then how the one I worked with there, and then how it was a joke that this tattoo, that all my tattoos he gives me seem to be not very good. They kind of flake off. They fall right off. It's just funny then that Sam, the girl I work with, and Carla were both sitting there and Sam's rubbing her leg one day. That's rubbing off. Kind of funny. It shouldn't do that, should it? Jen, should tattoos do that? That shouldn't really do that, should it? Really? That's just another coincidence. Another coincidence, the apartment above that had a British flag. Another coincidence, the young man I work with, his name was Golden Boy. Another coincidence, he wore a hat with a cobra and red eyes. That's just a coincidence. They're just everywhere. It's just a coincidence that every time I reach out to my family in Pennsylvania via Facebook Messenger or whatever it may be, when I ask them specific questions about their family and I wait for replies, knowing their children's names, knowing the areas they live in, that I get no further replies after that. You know, when you talk to somebody on text enough that you know that person, you know how they sound. Every person I've talked to in Facebook Messenger for the last 6 years has been the same person. That's why 2 years ago I gave up. Too many coincidences. We know as TIs, nothing is a coincidence anymore. Way too many. Way too many. And it's so disgusting. Like, I'm so tired of it. And I'm not going to do harm to myself or to anyone else. But if I bring you harm through words, through truth, through defending my own self, that's too bad. Grow up. Wah, wah, baby. Ain't that what you tell me? When I cry because you've beat me or because you've kept toilet paper from me and you won't let me have basic necessities after supporting you all for 25 years? After my youngest son telling me, haha, Michael down the road's the Antichrist. Did you know his mom thought he was the Antichrist? And then they start trying to make me think that about my son. This is like a thing. Only I actually think we're at that time where it happens to be true. There are a lot of young ones influenced by this Antichrist behavior. What did we do to all of you that was so terrible? I begged my children to hang out with me. I begged them to let me take them on vacation. I wanted cell phones out of their hands. The ones who harmed them are the ones that they are the most loyal to now. You know what you've done. So I'm going to share a screen with you. And this is why I don't look at my notifications anymore. Because again, some of these things that are said about me are true, if given no context. So when I read them all together like that, it sounds bad to me too, because it makes me sad, of course. And oh, look at you, how bad you are. You're crying on the internet. Ah, what's wrong with you? Can we just get real again? Can we quit acting? Can we quit performing for each other, for our kids, for ourselves? Can we flip and stop it? I'm trying real hard not to cuss. I just want to hide my face at times like this. Like, it's not okay. It's not good for society. It's not good for people. It's not good for the community. It's not good for the economy to torment people like this. That's why I say it's an anti-human, anti-mankind agenda. These individuals doing this are not like us. They have no conscience left. I know the Bible's true because I've watched some of them around me go incontinent. I said it. People I know, not just Shania Twain wearing diapers at her concert. People I know who have no business being that way would rather just go in their pants. Saw a video of a lady yesterday. Didn't like the way somebody stopped. Road rage. She went and pooped on the hood of her car. It's my family, though. This is someone I shared my life with for 25 years. And yes, I'm very well aware I have Stockholm Syndrome to the max. Like, I understand that. I know that. I admit it. And I know now at this point that I was not chosen because it was a love match. That's what I thought it was. And they make fun of me for it. They mock me for it. I am a laughing stock for that reason. Like, I know that's the reason. Because I thought it was a love match and it never was that, ever. I think our meeting was set up. I was working for a man at the time who was a foster parent, and he brought a lot of children in and out of his home. And I didn't see it then, but I see now that there was some concerning, suspicious behavior. I think my mother, in essence, sold me to these people. He always made a joke how he bought the spot at this flea market just so I could talk to this guy more. But it was the other. I think my mom, in essence, didn't get child support no more for me, so she sold me off to these people. They knew I had a gift when I was younger. They kept tabs on me. He even went with me to a physical before I moved out here, before he would like take me. Oh, Jen, you want to get your permit? You gotta go get a physical. Meanwhile, the woman never took me to drive in my life, never would take me. They like me being right here. And they go and criticize me for not having a license, but then want me afraid of driving. So it's like, it's called crazy making. It's actually um, a psychological effect. It's a psychological behavior where you can affect other people to then look like they have a mental illness. Because if there's a bunch of people poking somebody, I'll give you a good example. There's a woman I was caring for once. She didn't even have Alzheimer's. She just stayed there because her sister had it and she wouldn't leave her sister. But she had ambulatory issues, so she was in a wheelchair. She kept telling the nurses all day, she's like, I feel like I have ants in my pants. And they thought it was a phrase. They thought she was kidding. And she got me, I said, Mare, are you okay today? You don't look all right. Give me a hug. And I always hug my residents. I'm like, how are you? What's going on? And this is why other aides hated me. Aides are notoriously big boned women, and most of them are abusive. And I'm just being real. I didn't know that till I got there. Like, I thought I was going to help people. I thought other people were like that. Don't go to those places. They're not to help people. People work with people in this day and age because they want to hurt them, because they're sadistic. They're sadistic. I asked my higher intuition, since you don't want me saying God, the last time I played Scrabble with the man. Who or what is he? Show me, Lord, please. And I pulled the tiles out and I got all the letters for sadist. And I don't want you to say that that's divining, because I asked God himself. It's letters. God, letters are God's. I wasn't asking for any spirit around to talk to me. Trust me, my mom did that stuff. I know how that is. I don't even know what to say. All right, I'll show you this, I guess. I don't know where I was going with any of what I was just saying because I lost track. You can make somebody look like they're mentally ill. Anyway, this woman had told me all day she felt like she had ants in her pants. And all morning, she was at like this music activity thing. And I was like, well, I'll take you right now, because the one nurse was like, I haven't been able to leave the desk. I can't leave. No one else is here. Can you please take her? I know that you're not on this. I'm like, yeah, I'll take her. So I get her to the bathroom, and lo and behold, she had ants in her pants. Now I'll get to how that happened. She had a banana in her purse. That's how it happened. Mind you, it takes a while for something like this to happen, and I'm ticked. Like, she's one of my favorite residents, and I'm like very mad at this point. So I go back out to the nurse, and she's one of the really more compassionate nurses. And I says, how is she today? She says, she's not herself. She's very irritable and angry. She doesn't seem like she's mentally stable. And I'm like, oh, really? Would you be mentally stable if you had ants in your pants? Gang stalkers are the ants, and we are the limited residents. We're being told they're not there, they're not there. It's all your imagination, but they're there. And it sounds crazy to other people who aren't experiencing it, other people who are going to work and who are a part of the beast system in every type of way. If you are deep in debt, the beast system will love you. I am not that far deep in debt. I don't own anything. I don't have any large attachments. I don't want any of those things. I just don't. They can't buy me. So they just want to end me. So it's, well, how can we ruin every day for her? How can we ruin any hope that she has, anything that she looks forward to? We can't ruin her channels and her streaming. This is the only contact with the outside world I have. And again, it's partly by choice because I don't want to drive. Number one, The gang stalkers are on the road. They don't want you driving. There's a reason a lot of the gang stalking takes place in cars. There's a reason they're mad at me for not driving, and I'm not going to drive, especially now. You got driverless vehicles out there. That's the reason for the tinted windows, guys. As they're culling the population, they're still keeping the same amount of cars out there, but they're driverless and they're tinted. And this is why you're seeing all these crazy things happen with the cars. And this is why they don't want me talking, is because I have a little bit of insight. And again, it's just because I have free time. Same here. I'm not in debt either. I mean, I have school debt. Like, I'm not going to lie about that. I have some school debt, but nothing like they won't even take my money. Like, I keep trying to call. Can I please make payments to you? Please, can I make payments? I did again last week. I got another Asian person. If I cannot get it, and I'm not and you say that and people think you're prejudiced anyway. I can't understand you on the phone, right? Like, I can't understand you. If you speak another language and I'm not fluent in that language, I can't understand you on the phone. Like, if I can see your lips moving, we're better off. Like, I can kind of see what's going on. But if I can't, and if I'm trying to do my business or my banking or something, I need someone that speaks my language, right? It's just common sense. We all do. It's something we all need. And it's frustrating no matter what language you're speaking, whether you're Swahili and Mandarin and English or whatever. Even the same English and an Australian and an American, that's way off sometimes. Right, right. They don't want people on the roads now. Like cars are going to be public enemy number one very soon. And I say that with tongue in cheek because you're going to see society's going to go two ways. Like, it's going to go into two different realms, right? Like the Hopi said, you're going to see two different paths. I hope not many more because it's going to get hard to deal with as it is to discern things. I'm going to show you this. I'm so irritable. Like, this is just. Okay, so the sideways picture, I think, is the spouse. That is his, it looks like somebody copied it. It looks like somebody else uploaded it from another picture. And if I'm correct, it might be his old social media picture. So that right there, I can tell just by looking at that. And then you've got the black guy. I've talked about this. I've talked about how it just looks like there's black eyes behind some of these alleged people. They're not generated videos. They're not supposed to be AI generated videos, but how, like, it really looks like there's something going on there, like with JD Vance and Kamala. I mean, her eyes are dark, but it's not like what I'm talking about. It's not like this mask, like almost like when you watch the Invisible Man movie, if you ever watched it, and like you would see him plop on some skin or something, kind of like that. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Anyway, here you have the rat, which I've talked about at length. The last year I was allowed to get my taxes done with him. Only he could go in. I couldn't go in. And when he come back out, his story was, oh yeah, that girl was allowed in. She had a baby. She was there to see it, but it wasn't a baby. It was a rat. So in other words, that was your real woman that you did taxes with or something. And I had to sit in the car so I wouldn't know any better. Because during CV, there was a lot of these secret marriages taking place too. Something is really off the wall. And I'm so sick of everyone acting, oh, it's you, it's you. The second you call somebody crazy, it's like they quit listening to everything else they say. There is no test for crazy. There is no blood test. There is no test. Period. I'm not a doctor. No part of this is medical advice. It's common sense. You can look it up if you have any sense. The intellectual people, there's a reason that they don't have to deal with this stuff as they stay offline. They don't have to do this. I should have stayed with that side of my family. Because I know Christ was poor, and I know he helped the poor. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the mentality of those people we watched in the videos that I shared of the homeless. You had the homeless couple, they were sweeping out their tent, they were getting out anything that got in there during the day, lining their water bottles up studying school books. And then you had the others. They just have a haphazard blanket here, a blanket there. You see a pea pot next to where they, even dogs know not to go where they sleep. That's the attitude I'm talking about. When I say base level, I'm talking about people who only care about eating, fornicating, and feeding that like bloodlust or whatever. And I don't think that they're the same. I don't think they're people. So the rat, there's the video. He says that I was ditched on the road for being an a-hole. If being an a-hole is asking you, why is this seat moved again if nobody else rides in this car with you? If that's being an a-hole and warrants you screaming at me down the road, then I'm an a-hole. And look, I hate dogs. Really declaring who they are there, aren't they? Tell you what, this better be my spouse or I'm going to, because again, my family, mine, I can say what I want. You can't. My family. But let's go see what he has to say. Let's go see what he has to say about me, this individual. Now, my husband likes to say that I have no sense of humor. It isn't capybara syndrome, you DA. A capybara is a large rodent. No kidding. I'm well aware that it's a large rodent. It's me playing a double entendre. I'm being funny because it's spelled so close, very similar, and because I think it's a big rat's tail. I think it's false. It's me being tongue in cheek. It's pronounced something like capgra or something like that. So yeah, I know it's not capybara. And capybara actually has a special thing for us. Me and him and I and our kids, we used to watch the videos because we thought they were silly animals and cute and sweet. Then this one. Why are they so sensitive to whether I believe in clones or not? What do they care? What I believe. See, this is where it matters. If what I believe matters so much, either A, you are drumming up delusions just to suit my beliefs, or B, maybe I am God and I control everything here. Maybe, I said, because I'm not that foolish. First you believe in clones, now you do it because it's convenient for you. You found another nutcase. Read his full PDFs. He believed he was Jesus in one of his manifestos. Anyone who watched that video, and again, it's only these videos that now the ones that they're deciding to be irritated by, these are things we should go back and look at again. Because he's learned that trick now. Now he knows not to act too irritated because he knows that's what thou doth protest too much. They don't understand the Queen's English. That's why they hate it. Thou doth protest too much. Yeah, well, you do. Anyone that watched that video knows that I said flat out, number one, these stories are suspect because they always come from the rainbow hijacking community. Gary was in that community, but his father was also in the military. You can make people be in that community, and I'm not going to get into that right now, okay, because it is a very sad state of affairs. I have family and people that I love very much, and if I ever get to the bottom line and the truth of things, you better believe there's going to be something to pay. If all this started for me when I came out against PDFiles, then what does that say about the people who are condemning me? You must be PDFiles if you're that sensitive that you keep coming after me and you want me out of town so bad. You must be PDFiles. And yes, I'm saying PDFiles to avoid censorship. Because we're not adults here. We can only deal with truth when we can deal with it. Do you think in 5 years this program is going to self-destruct? I'm sorry, young one. It's been around since World War II, so I think that is highly unlikely. However, I do think that some of its captives are mighty sick of being captives, and I do think that very soon they're going to start to eat each other. So I was very specific. Again, this is what happens when you cherry pick things people say. You sound like a fool. So in that video, I was very clear and I said, I'm not saying to believe this. I'm not saying it's true. I'm saying there's a code in here for us that we need to figure out. And if the video hadn't been cut, because again, they were very sensitive to that specific topic where I talked about number stations very possibly being the background of our reality here, being like algorithms for our legitimate reality. Holy shit, I think I might have just figured out what they actually are. I gotta write it down. Oh my gosh. It touches on that 9Nania channel I was talking about earlier. They might be the code that keeps up their little cloaking system. That might be what number stations are. I'm sorry, number stations fascinate me. And they're related to World War II too, so I had to just, okay, sorry. Okay, so I was very clear in saying that Gary's story specifically, I did not believe. It was the clues in it that we need to hang on to. And also, every organization and every group has a misinformation group, a subgroup that has infiltrated that group. Everyone has a shadow. Everyone has a counterfeit. That group is no same. Targeted individuals are no same. There are parts of his story that are very true, but parts of it that are made purposely fraudulent and obviously fraudulent so that you cast out the rest of his story, so that you don't listen to any of the rest of it. But in that story, I was using that as an example, and I went through and said, now this is a code word and this is a code word. I did that through the whole video because I didn't realize that the stream had stopped. Now, this is funny too, because this is where I have to say that though I welcome everyone and I talk to everyone and I share the gospel with everyone, I'm well aware of who is here to monitor me. I'm well aware of who the handlers are. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to be, and I'm not rude. Like, we got to quit saying that when it comes to text. Unless you're F-bombing somebody and calling them names, you can't tell somebody's emotional state by their words because there's no tone of voice. So I'm rude to a fan. Oh, I have so many fans. They said it, not me. I don't have fans. Jen's rude. And here's what's telling. This is the most telling. Is how they spell my name. Only people who know me know how I spell my name. Everybody else spells it wrong. I always spell Jen with 2 N's. Very few people know that. Because I just, who do you write your name in front of, really, right? Or people might, he would have told. Jen's rude to a fan for nice Bible comments, vetting them like a CIA plant. Gets paranoid and offended over sharing a thoughtful Bible verse on Easter. So much for all are welcome. Accuses end goals, sniffs their empty channel. She does this to everybody, then cries targeted. Maybe YouTube's bad for her mental health. Paranoia is why they can't stand her. No one's safe. You're all perps eventually. Okay, so I made a comment to this because this is rich. First of all, no one's safe. I'm not sure what that means. No one's safe from what? From my words? From my wrath of prayer? Like, what do you mean no one's safe? I love how everybody tunes in then drops out. Am I even still live? Maybe they cut this one. I don't even know anymore. I don't care. Okay. Well, if nobody's watching, maybe I should just end it because what's the point at this point? Rude to a fan. Okay, because I plainly said now there's 5 replies, but they're only showing the ones that they want to show. I said, that's an LDS song, apparently. Why are you debating the resurrection, then sharing the song? Because I wasn't sure. Like, I'm asking this person a question. Why were you debating the resurrection, whether or not that was true, and then sharing a Christian song? Because at first I thought maybe this person was a Muslim because they know just enough about Christ, but not enough, right? And so I wasn't sure. And again, this person is still welcome here. That's why I'm not saying their name. But it's funny that this person was so offended by what I said to that person. They always come out and bat for each other. So again, when you call them out, they don't like it. They hate exposure. I am a bacon-fueled witness at witness 03. Now they're talking about a vegan influencer who passed away with 3 people liking it. Coincidentally enough, 3 people are always the highest amount that watch me live. They're always the people who like the videos first, and 3 people are always commenting. And they are always probably they're just here to miss miss misguide. So is this a death threat? Should I take this as a death threat? Is it? Oh, being a vegan is not going to end you, and I'm so sick of this. If it was going to end you, they would not have restaurants geared towards them specifically. It's redonkulous. Now we get to the hard part of the video for me, because this is a hard part, because the things that are written in the next part are true, but out of context. This is why I tried to explain all throughout this one that context matters. Context is very important. What do you gain? Like what do you gain when you do this to a person? I don't understand that. I don't understand any of that. Like, do y'all sit around and like, oh, we got her today. Ha ha ha, friends, we got her today. Ah ha ha. Like, really? What? What the, I don't get it. There we go. Now they're saying I have severe malnourishment. Now, again, this 3 weeks ago, I had a very serious issue, and I have fainted before. Had nothing, my health business is none of your business, really, but I'm a pretty healthy weight, okay? Um, I have fainted since I was about 13 years old. My mom used to make fun of me for it. It started with my moon cycle, ladies. I don't know why. It just did. Fainted at my dad's before. I fainted in high school. Quite embarrassing to just suddenly fall like a ton of bricks, but it happens. One night I got up, I had a stomach ache from womanly things. Everybody wants to assume it's malnourishment. No, I'm trying to have a little bit of tact. It's called being tactful and having some class. You ought to try it. Do you want me to give all your names? Because you're all gross, man. You're all gross. You don't clean your faces. You don't clean your houses. You don't clean your yards. You got crap everywhere. This was a clean town. You've picked some real winners, Slim. And now because you've slept around, I got to deal with this? What do you get? What do you get? What are you going to get when I start saying your names? Because even the people I worked with at the pizza shop, you were all so eager to tell me how old you were. And I asked that with a very specific reason. You're in college, right? Yeah, I got a few of your pictures when you picked up my property to unlock my phone and take pictures. I've got those still. you should probably stop very soon. So here's some nasty things, true things said about me. And without context, it's going to look bad. Delusions of Jen. Severe malnourishment. I thought we're not doctors. This is medical. This is coming across as medical advice. I think I'm going to have to report this post for giving medical diagnoses when you are not a medical professional. Delusions of Jen. Severe malnourishment plus never leaving the house in weird ass Ohio equals mental illness. Oh, yeah? Are you honestly saying then that mental illness can be created? Gosh, this is going to be rich in court. I love this. And I already have screenshots of all of it. So you opened up a real legal can of whoop ass for yourself here, young man or slim old man. Demonizes her family, her husband and son as the Antichrist, and wonders why they can't stand her. Do I need to go over the list of all the things that my husband and my sons have done? When this started out, it was witnessing for God. And I told you this at the beginning. At first, I was sharing my journey of getting reacquainted with the Bible and learning who Christ really was. Then I was sharing what God was teaching me specifically about gossip and modesty and things of that nature. Then it turned into I had domestic violence taking place. I'm going to also put up some documentation here in case I die to keep me safe because I'm pretty isolated and I didn't realize how isolated I am. Because you don't recognize it when it's happening. It's any Lifetime movie, man. You can see my story in any Lifetime movie about an abused woman. It's all the same. They all go through the same tactics, and yet the court still allows these things to happen. Families and towns and communities and city planners still allow these things to happen. I did not do anything against the law. Against God's law, yeah. So the things that I say about them on here, I've never said their names. I've never said the town we lived in. I never said the county we lived in. And I've never, he's the one that has given names here. But I've told you all the stories. They're all here. All the stuff that they said that came out of their mouths. All the things that they've done to me. People aren't dying. Everyone is just tricking her. Okay. It's not just me people are tricking, but okay. People indeed die. The reason you don't see funeral processions is most people get cremated. That's not true. Number one, if the highest, there's something like 2 billion Catholics, something like that. It might be higher. Catholics don't get cremated. Very rarely will a Catholic allow themselves to be cremated. And a lot of cemeteries are Catholic for that reason. And still, no new cemeteries being built, no funeral processions, no funerals. And I'm not the only one talking about it now. Now there's people on TikTok talking about that too. I've got people asking themselves questions. See, this is what they do. This is from, again, 3 weeks ago. This is how they try to stem the leaks, is by discouraging you. So I don't know if people aren't dying, but I know what the Bible says, and I know that a lot of it seems to be true. Some of it may have been manipulated. I'm not going to deny that, but we can glean a lot of truth from it no matter what. And so my bet, when I look for truth, I look there, and then I look with my own senses. Okay. When I've not been to a place, I'm very open about saying I'm not world traveled, but there's why then are there so many people flying the skies every day and we still have debates about what shape the planet is? If flying is if there's no deception, and I never said flying was fake. I didn't say that. I said if you get up there, you're probably on his team, the Antichrist team, because Satan is the prince of the air. It just makes sense. Why are people still arguing about the shape of the planet then? Because number one, it's a straw man. They're not actually arguing. They know the truth. They're arguing for our benefit, the audience. It's all a set. It's literally, it's their lives to them. So they take their roles very seriously, sometimes 2 or 3 at a time. But that doesn't negate the fact that they're all still acting and it's all still deception. If there is no deception behind flight travel, then why are people still arguing about that? Again, I'm just asking questions. So to demonize me for asking questions, you should start asking these same questions then. So again, I'm not saying that they're completely fake or anything like that. But I do think now at this time, I wouldn't even try to get on a plane because I think I don't even know how to go about proving that one. So I'll just not. But I think the giant beings here have fun with airplanes and those in them from time to time. Okay, what is the other one? You never flew. How do you know? Again, I've openly admitted that. Asking questions. I've flown a lot and it's not fake. Oh, right. And we should believe you, random person on the internet. Really? Are we still falling for all that stuff? And if you are slim, no, allegedly, you've told me you've never flown. Although I remember that one night around the time when all this started, when you came home from work, and I went to give you a hug, and I said, "What's on your back? Why do you have these indentations on your back?" It looked like you had been on one of those. You ever watched the movie? Oh, it's about the drug dealer, about the white stuff. Well, when they transport things on planes, they would always tape it around them under their shirts. And that's exactly what it looked like. And I told him that. And on his map thing, it had said he had been to the airport quite a few times. Oh, I deliver food there. Oh, sure you do. If you can be there and back in an hour, dude, you could literally have a whole nother family in Florida. You could have a whole nother wife and kids in Florida, which I'm pretty sure you do. They ain't the only ones. Okay, what else? Movies are fake. They're unwitting people being filmed without knowing. Yeah, actually, I do believe that. Not all of them. No, not like your big stars. No. But yes, I believe that. That's a rather new one that I let go. This person is kind of watching. They're just cherry picking, which is even worse. Oh, damn it. Wow, I didn't see that one. Why did he all of a sudden just stop? Okay, let me see if there's, I doubt there's comments, but I'll just check to be nice. And please watch the last video later tonight. It was a really good reading, and we found some really cool things in the live stream from earlier. Okay, movies are fake. Yeah, they are unwitting people being filmed without knowing it. Watch, dude, if you have time, if you've got time, watch some found footage stuff on Tubi. Go to EHM right now. There's stuff still up about Slender Man. I do not want to push you to watch it because I feel like that has mojo behind it. However, I will say that it tells you very clearly, if you pay attention and you don't watch away and you understand you're watching things out of order, if you watch the videos in the order that they're given, you can tell what went on there. That they had surveillance cameras installed without the other kids knowing. The other kids started to know something was, you can feel the EMFs. Like, this has been proven now. This is scientific. The hair on your neck stands up because of EMF rays. I'm so tired of these people saying they believe in science, but that's only when it's convenient for them. And as far as me not believing in clones, sometimes I think they're possible, but I don't think God would allow them. Clones to me just means twins. The word clone means the exact same thing as twin. Okay? So I'm not saying that I don't believe the science isn't there. I don't think God would allow it. I just don't. And I think they have enough human bodies, they have enough of our bodies, and the fact that they're trying to procreate with us, why would they need clones then? You know what I mean? Other than as like a waiting container or something. But I just, clones don't make sense to me, man. They just don't. So what does this guy care if I believe in clones or not? She thinks trolls have the power to censor her shitty streams. No, I don't think trolls have that power. I think, again, like I told you, that for whatever reason, there seems to be there are high-tech influences in this family. That's all I'm going to say about that. They have the power. I pray that God does not allow that to happen, and I pray that the Most High God, the creator of the firmament, everything above and everything below and in between, I pray that that God allows this testimony to be seen, because we defeat the enemy through the word of our testimony and the blood of the Lamb. That's what I pray happens. I am sick of seeing all these people, though. I don't understand why these people are pretending to be God's children and still pointing us towards the Bible when they're very clearly not God's children. You don't harass people. You don't scream about them. You don't out them. I don't even out the people who've done these things to me. I don't say their names. I don't show their faces. I don't do that. And I'm not saying that makes me better than them. It just doesn't seem right to do. Fired from Pizza Joint because she was paranoid about everyone constantly vetting them. Newsflash, you are not that interesting. Just make the damn pizza. No kidding. Okay, let me be very clear about this again. I'm boring. I have no life. I only have a couple of dogs. They are my only friends. They are who I talk to. I don't really get to know my neighbors well. When I used to do that, it ended badly. My spouse made sure that. See, I never realized my whole life, like all these negative things were always him right behind me, making me look bad, saying things to, like, I didn't understand why a partner would want to do that. But if you have that mentality of keep your friends close and your enemies closer, and they knew who we were kind of before we did, then it makes sense. That's why they hid from us that there was two different bloodlines. They wanted us all to believe that we were all the same. They wanted us to mix with them. They didn't want us to know the laws of God. They purposely did all this. That's why God is going to bless us in ways that God knows we didn't know, right? Like we're going to be blessed for that. Constantly vetting them. This person likes that word. Okay, number one, in this day and age, there are so many social apps that allow you to vet people that if you don't look someone up before meeting them in real life, there's something wrong with you. And yes, when someone subs to my channel, I check out their channel and sub to be nice. It's called being reciprocal. So if you come to my channel and you comment on it, I'm going to go to yours to sub to it to be nice. And if you don't have any material or anything, sometimes I'll just click subscribe so you see that, oh, hey, she commented to me, or I'll pin a comment you made because my tags don't work. It's really not all that wicked or deep. Like, it's just not. I was constantly vetting them, though. That again, that tells me who I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with somebody who definitely knows me, definitely knows the situation, because I damn sure did look up all of them. Because I do. That's what I do. She refuses to touch grass. Okay, that is, I don't even know how to quantify that with a response. How many walk and talks are on my channel? How many times have I talked about fishing? My whole first channel, I had so many fishing trips on my Brie and Jen channel. How many times have I walked down to the lake? How many times do I say, oh, I rode my bike to work? Oh, I walked to work in the snow. That doesn't even make sense. She won't touch grass. I think I know who this is writing this. The sad thing is I think I actually know who this is. Get a day job, Sam. Get a day job. So refuses to touch grass. Like, that should be an obvious lie. And go get a license to drive to see reality for herself. Okay, I've said that to myself, like, maybe I should just get a license to go see reality for myself. That's what they want. And I test them by saying things out loud just to see if they're listening. And I say that over and over, and they still haven't caught on. They still they give themselves away. And yes, that's called testing the spirit. There's nothing paranoid about it. It's what God tells us to do. Testing the spirit. Are you going to give your car keys? Are you going to let anyone in your house? Are you going to let just anyone walk your dog? Are you going to let just anyone take your children? No, you're going to find out about them first. It's called being wise. They're hoping that this chastises me into some type of mealy mouth behavior. Obviously, that's not happened yet. But everyone else who uses planes and automobiles is in on it. Never said that either. Okay. I do think people who fly are suspicious, like the fact that you can't tell us which shape the planet is. There's something wrong there. I don't know if they're knocking people out with the sleeping gas or what they're doing. They have to, because the map doesn't look like what they say it looks like. Like, everyone has caught on to it now. It's not just me. So again, most of this doesn't even matter anymore, because thank God there are people out there asking these same questions. How they're asking the same questions I'm asking, I'm not sure, but I'm just glad the butterfly effect is working. Okay. Says ear ringing is angel frequencies. Yes, I do believe that is possible. But I don't believe that's all they are. Okay. There's obviously a million other things they could be. I'm not a doctor, medical professional. No part of my channel is medical advice. My disclaimers are in the description boxes. Okay. Nothing to do with that. Doesn't eat meat or salt. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I absolutely eat salt. Like, yes, I eat salt. Oh my gosh, man, I can't. At least learn to listen. Dude, you look foolish. You look foolish making very obvious false claims about me. Um, Says ear is ringing is angel frequencies. Yes, I do believe that, but that's not all it is. Obviously, I have tinnitus also. I've had ear problems, but I also hear very, very well. So my ears are not your ears. My situation is not your situation. I say that ad nauseum. She doesn't. Okay. She says it's perfectly fine to eat no salt. I did not say that. No meat or eggs, only pasta, bread, beans, and lentils. Totally not a severe deficiency or malnourishment. I think that week I was on a lentil kick, and I said, like, that's all I've ate all week is lentils. Now I have some fruit. I just ran out of my beans, actually. I think I have some veggie burgers. Like, for real, man, stop it. If we're not allowed to talk about an event taking place all over America because we might get our channels taken down and canceled by cancel culture, why are you allowed to sit here and make assumptions about my health? Even if I did have a mental disease, you're picking on someone who's already on disability. Like that's not okay. If I was a person who was on this because of a mental acuity problem, I would go to my payee or my caregiver, whoever that was, and I would get a lawyer right now. This is slander. I never gave anyone any. I told you, you eat what you want to eat, but I'm telling you, if you want your spiritual walk to be a little better, and if you want to see and hear things in the spirit a little bit better, clean out your temple. No part of my channel is advice. It is my walk. Perhaps something that I do in my walk might help you. It doesn't matter how many times you say this stuff, they hear what they want to hear. She doesn't eat meat or salt, but smokes cigarettes. Do you know what this is? Do you see what this is? Satan. This is satanic. Like, you're sitting here doing nothing but picking me apart. Okay, so that week, yes, I had like I would add fruit to that list. You should totally eat fruit, right? And like fresh vegetables and like spinach leaves. I love spinach leaves. So again, they don't know what they're talking about. She doesn't eat meat or salt, but smokes cigarette. Yes, I do eat salt. And I admit openly, like, I have a real problem still smoking cigarettes. I'm sorry. She's often sick. Who's been here since the beginning, or at least a few streams ago, when I said that I was given medicine every day as a child? It was in the fridge, the pink amoxicillin. When I was left with the grandmother, I was given something crushed up in orange juice on a spoon every single day. We've talked about that in relation to the GATE program and the indoctrination across America as a whole, and it being possibly a part of Project Paperclip. All of that being the trickle down effect. So if anything's made me sick, it was all the injectables that I got every week for my allergies. Okay. It was all the stuff that was done to me. By the time I got to be an adult, I was already broken as far as health goes. Now it takes years to try and clean all that out. Like, we should be commending each other. If we're trying to be healthier and we're trying to do things better and we're trying to be better people, that should be a good thing. I have got nothing but ridiculousness from these people since I've started trying to be a better person. And me saying what happens here in my home as part of my testimony, that works many different ways. That acts as a confession for my son and my husband. That gets their wickedness exposed. So, yes, that helps them. Even if they don't realize it, it helps them. Then, when I go to pray for them, my prayers have more of an effect. I love my family to the moon back 10, 20, 50, 11 times. I would walk through fire for them and have plenty. Even the father of my children, probably still. You do not know me. Shame on all of you, because you should know me by now, but you don't. You just want to sit around and you're never going to change. And that is what is most infuriating about all this, is God is going to destroy everyone who has no ability and no desire to strive to do better. All you have to do is just have a little bit of desire to want to be a better tomorrow than you were yesterday. That's it. And God can make so much of that. This is maddening because this is my neighbors, my friends, my family. She is often sick and sometimes wheezes in videos, but she is the picture of health. Jen's preaching Jesus was a vegetarian, but Luke 22:7-8 says he ate lamb at Passover. Fish too, no lentils for the Lord. I'm not going to get into it with you. It says he sent them out to get the lamb, and he very may well have partook. I don't know. He's the Lord. He could do what he wants. I don't think he did, to be honest. I don't think the Lord that creates life would then want life cut down like that. I don't think that's what the Lord does. So, difference of opinion. I'm not saying that if you eat meat that you're wicked. I'm not saying that. I've never said that. Never said those things. And I don't preach, man. That's not what this channel is about. This channel is me sharing my studies. That's why it's called Research with Me, most of the videos, because we're studying together. We're learning together. We're growing, I hope, together. Man, you are just mad because you actually genuinely, most of you respect me at this point because you saw how much I busted my butt. You saw I trudged to work every day in the snow and the rain and all of that. You saw how much I went to bat for the family that has done nothing but malign me. You want to hate me. I know you want to, but I know that you don't. Not all of you. Not the way you should. Thinks she controls the weather, but somehow can't control her own live streams. Unbelievable. I control nothing but myself. And even then, I pray that God is at the helm of the ship of my body, my vessel. I don't control the weather. I pray, God gives. I ask, I receive. That's simple. That's simple. And I also believe that we probably have the power to cloud seed. But again, I don't want to attribute God's works to man anymore. So I don't talk about weather manipulation or any of that stuff. God is in control. I pray, I ask for rain, God seems to bring rain. If I cry that day, it seems to rain. It just happens. I don't control it. I am not God. Thinks she is one of the two witnesses, and I addressed this at the beginning. At the beginning, I did this to share me getting closer to Christ, and then to share what the Bible was teaching me, and then to share the lessons God was teaching me. Then 2019, when we moved to this house, I asked God, who am I or what am I? God gave me one word. In my heart, he gave me a word, and that word was witness. Make no mistake, God asks all of us to witness. That's a commission to all of us. God is the first master, the only master, the one true God. Who do you think Satan got the idea of double entendres from? Every verse, every word has a double entendre. God very well, when he told me to be a witness, could have meant just a regular old witness for Christ. That's it. That's all I got to say about that. Wake up, even other people notice it. Aaron Haywood. And who is this Aaron Haywood person? I didn't get I was always cool to Aaron. I don't understand. But again, I think that's another this is what he does. Dude, this I'm so over this. I rebuke the hair loss thing. Why? Because they've heard me say it out loud. Okay. And I'm going to be brutally honest. I was on a thyroid pill that I think was contributing to that. But it's not other people noticing, it's what they're doing. He asked me why I wasn't using my shampoo. I'm not using the shampoo that he brought me and bought to me anymore because I noticed that the first time I used it, my hair started shedding. And I noticed that my son never uses shampoo anymore at all. Talk about gross, right? And I'm like, why isn't he using the shampoo that's in the shower? So they are purposely doing these things. For Aaron to say that, I've never spoken publicly about this to anyone. And I didn't speak with you about it either, Green Eyed Mama. Maybe your name was right. Maybe you should have been called that. I never spoke with you about it. It was something I said here in prayer in the privacy of my own home. So why don't y'all tell me, how do you all know what I'm saying in the privacy of the place where I live? Because I'm not paying to live here no more. Anyone want to tell me the truth? Because this isn't going to end the way that you want to. And before you have any control of me, I will have done some damage. I will be very clear about that. I am done with you coming after my children. I'm done with you coming after my dogs. I'm done with you coming after my hair and my health. I am not using your BS products anymore. I rebuke you all in the name of the Lord and the blood of the Lamb, Jesus Christ. Back off. Stay away from me. This is balderdash. Why? Like, We have these people. Why is that okay? Aaron Haywood, dude, I was never nothing but nice to you. Nothing but nice. And I gave you a tip and I said, you this channel here? I said, yeah, I know that channel. Israeli News? Yeah, looks just like my brother-in-law. Because they run it all. This is how they make their money, is YouTube. YouTube, right? Ain't that right? I'm gonna start giving your names, man. I'm done. Stop messing with me. Stop messing with my health. And the hair thing again, that makes me mad because who cares if I lose it at this point? I don't care about any of this. What I care about is the dishonesty. How is it that you know what I'm praying to God for? Because that's the only one that I talked to about the hair thing. I got a little vanity ridden with the Lord. I didn't talk to none of you about it. I didn't talk about it on the channel, and I didn't talk about it with any of you. I am not losing my hair. It's not going anywhere. It is blessed. How about that? Have a nice day.